Hi, welcome to this week's Mortgage Minute with Meredith. Today I wanted to talk about home appraisals. I get lots of questions from buyers and sometimes from agents on the whole home appraisal process. So first of all, for buyers, a home appraisal is different than a home inspection. A home inspection is what you have done usually within the first couple days of going under contract, where you hire an inspector to come in and look at the condition of the home. That inspector is hired by you and is there on your behalf to tell you if there's any concerns about the house that you should go back to the sellers and maybe negotiate with. A home appraisal is different. A home appraisal is what the lender has to order to determine the value of the home. So as the lender, I order a home appraisal based on the type of loan product you're using. So there are FHA appraisers, there's VA appraisers, USDA appraisers, conventional appraisals. Based on what type of loan program you use, we order the appraisal. Now, this is where there's a lot of regulation in place because of compliance procedures that were put in back from all of the mortgage fraud that happened years ago to make sure that doesn't happen again. So my company has an appraisal desk. The appraisal desk is in charge of actually putting in the order to an appraisal management company called an AMC. The appraisal management companies are the ones that basically hire the appraisers. So when we order an appraisal, it kind of goes on like a job board and an appraiser picks it up. We do not get to pick the appraiser. The appraiser gets to pick us. When we post the job, we post the turn time and how much we're willing to pay for it. Most appraisals around the Metroplex, anywhere between $600 and $900, kind of depending on how rural the property is or how quickly we want the report back in. Most of the time we ask for like a 1-week turn time. So the appraiser then picks up the job, confirms that they'll do it for the amount we post. They contact the listing agent to schedule the appraisal. They go out, appraise the home. They send in our report about a week later, and hopefully what we see is that they agree, based on the comparable properties and the condition of the home, that it is worth the value you're purchasing it for, and as is. As is means there's no repairs needed for that home to get to that value. If for some reason the value of the home does not come back for what you're purchasing it for, there are things we can do to ask for a reconsideration of value. Depending on the loan program type and the type of appraisal, there's a process where we can ask for other comparable properties to be looked at or a condition to be reevaluated. If the appraisal does not come back as is, then that means they are asking for certain things to be repaired. Again, depending on the appraiser and the type of program, there's different types of safety issues that they're concerned about on the home. If there are repairs that need to be done, then the seller and buyer have to negotiate how those are going to happen. The appraiser then comes back out when those are finished and gives a final inspection, the clear as is appraisal that we need for lending. So I hope that helps explain the process. Again, appraisers don't work for us. We don't get to pick them. This has to be a separate individual third party that is doing this to keep the home appraisals correct and properly maintained so we don't wind up in some of those crises with mortgage fraud and everything else that happened decades ago. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be glad to answer them for you. Have a great one. Bye-bye.